Hey, what's up, guys? It's Cody Brockway back with another episode of Brockway's Vinyl Bites. Yeehaw! And of course, Kermit scratching his ass the frog. So today's episode is going to be sort of in contrast to what we talked about the other day when we were talking about how you should give your attention to new albums from older bands that you've loved for a long time. And we're going to talk about newer albums from newer bands. Now, less than a handful of these bands that I'm going to mention have been around since the 90s. For the most part, all of these bands have been around from the 2000s and up. Like, they started in the 2000s typically and came up from there and have made incredible albums throughout the 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. That's still kind of new, especially because these albums that I'm going to show you are actually newer themselves. So we'll start off with this DVD that I got of a band I recently heard of for the first time who has a new album coming out, but the album's not out yet. It's DGM. So this is an Italian prog metal rock band. This DVD is called Passing Stages, live in Milan and Atlanta. My dad showed me some of their songs. My dad is a 71-year-old retired bass-playing rocker, musician, and so he's still hip on what's going on out there with the music world. And he showed me this band, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So I got a record of theirs that I haven't listened to yet, and I got this Blu-ray which him and I started to watch together, and they were fantastic. And they're from Italy, so prog metal. DGM, great band. Check out their new single from their new album is really good. Go check it out. And so here's another one. This band has been around since probably 93, I think their first album came out, but you don't really hear them on radios and stuff. But I will say, I heard of them on Deep Nuggets Radio from a good friend of mine, Bob Zorich, his Wednesday night show on Deep Nuggets Radio. He runs the Electrodynamic Time Tunnel show, and he plays a whole bunch of new music, new metal, new rock all the time. And I heard of this band called Angra, and so I had to go out and buy one of their CDs. This album is from 2018, I believe. Yeah, 2018, called Omni, and they also have a new album coming out. And again, the single from that is good, and so is this CD. Thanks, Bob, for showing me that. If you see this, say hi. Anyway, Angra, yeah, great band. If you haven't heard of them, go check them out. Good stuff. So this artist has been a part of a band since the early 90s, maybe the late 80s, but he's really flourishing, especially as he's doing his own solo thing. He started his solo career venture thing in 2008 or something like that, and he's made a really eclectic, varied catalog of albums, and I'm talking about the new Steven Wilson album, the Harmony Codex. Yeah, this is signed by him. This album is really good, and it's different. Like, it's not the prog metal thing that you might expect from him from Porcupine Tree days or whatever. He's an artist who is constantly reinventing himself, and I'm along for the ride. You know, I like what he's got to offer. You know, Inclination's a cool tune. What Life Brings, Economies of Scale, Impossible Tightrope, Rock Bottom, Staircase. This is a really good, interesting release. It kind of borderlines on more electronic prog, but it's still really worth your time. And Craig Blundell from Steve Hackett's band plays on a couple tracks on the drums on this. So yeah, so a new album that just came out just a few weeks ago, I guess now, and yeah, about a month ago maybe, but decent album, very good. So we're going to talk about a band that started actually in 2000. They're a supergroup, and they actually recently just kind of went on hiatus because their drummer went back to his original band that he was in. Maybe you know who I'm talking about, but it's Transatlantic. So these guys formed in 2000, put out their first album, which is really good, by the way. And they were kind of on and off again for years because drummer Mike Portnoy was still part of Dream Theater. Then he would leave Dream Theater in 2010. He would do a couple more records with these guys, and then they'd go on another indefinite hiatus at the end of the tour for this album. And a fan like me, who was just really, especially getting into Transatlantic at the time, going, oh man, like I'd love to see them. I'd love to hear another record from them, but that seems to be it for now. And then we find out that Mike is, rejoining Dream Theater. So I'm like, oh, maybe that's why the Transatlantic stuff got put on hold again. But regardless, aside from all that stuff. Transatlantic, their newest album. This is 2021, and this is the Absolute Universe. This is the Forevermore edition, the extended version. Now, there's also an abridged version, which is different mixes of the songs, and it's a shorter album in general. This is the longer one, of course. This is an excellent album. Excellent band. Excellent album. You got Neil Morse from Spock's Beard and the Neil Morse Band. You got Roy Stolt from the Flower Kings, who I'm going to mention here very shortly. Pete Trewavas, sorry, but he's the bassist from Marillion, and of course Mike Portnoy on the drums. Excellent band, and you'll hear them and you go, why are these guys, not making more music together anytime soon? Because they're excellent band, very good. Next, we have another Steven Wilson alumni, sort of, in a roundabout way, because he kind of co-produced this album, but this is from 2001. This is a band who started off in probably 96, around there, and they were a death metal band at first, and then they turned into a prog rock band. They left the death metal growling behind completely and went on a new venture in the 2010s, but I'm going to show you their album from 2001, Blackwater Park by Opth. This is a classic album. There's a lot of people who are big fans of Opth and will admit to you that this is one of Opeth's finest albums. And this is a nice crossover, at the beginning of the crossover, where, there's the heavy growling vocals and the beautiful melodic, acoustic, beautiful clean singing moments. It's just totally, it sits right happily on the balance. It's a dark album, but it's an excellent album. Sometimes there's beauty in the darkness, Great record. Go check it out if you haven't heard it before. We're going to go to a very new artist here, who is the son of a famous musician, but this guy has come out and made 2 incredible albums in the last 3 years. And his music sounds nothing like his dad's music. And this guy plays everything on the record himself. The drums, bass, guitar, vocals, writes the songs. He's incredible, and that is Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen. This is his first album. It came out in 2021, and this is his newest album, Mammoth 2, which came out this year. I was lucky enough to actually get to see him twice in concert, 1.5 times, because I went to Quebec City, and I was going to see him open for Alter Bridge, but the show got rained out because it was an outdoor show, so I got to see him do half a set, and then the next night, we drove from Quebec City to Montreal, and I got to see him open for Metallica. Full set, full show. It was excellent. And he's awesome, and his live band is great, but he is excellent on he's all songs written and performed by Wolfgang Van Halen. He plays every instrument, except for the wah operation on I'm All Right, which is done by his uncle, Patrick Bertinelli. That's his mom's brother. If you know anything about the Van Halen family, his mother is Valerie Bertinelli, and his dad is obviously Eddie Van Halen. But he is something else. He can sing better than his dad did. He's a great drummer. I'm a drummer, and I can recognize when there's another great drummer. This guy is excellent on the fucking kit. He's an excellent drummer, Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen. Excellent. Excellent. Go check out these 2 albums if you haven't checked them out already. They are seriously worth your time. We're going to go to another Mike Portnoy offshoot band. This band is excellent. You got members from Guns N' Roses in here. You got members of Mr. Big. You got Sons of Apollo. Now, this band also just went on another indefinite hiatus as well because of Mike returning to Dream Theater, and that's something I'm excited for. We'll do more videos. We already did one. We'll do another video on that again soon. But this album is really good. It's really more of a rock and metal album, but it has prog elements to it. Like Billy Sheehan's a monster bassist, and Ron Thal is playing guitar, Jeff Scott Soto on vocals, and of course Mike on the drums. And these guys have a really good chemistry. And I'd hope to see, someday. I know they're all getting older, but I'd love to see another record from this band. Very good stuff indeed. And this is the inside sleeve. This is the gatefold, not the sleeve. Let's go back there. Okay, very good. Sons of Apollo. This is a band that had really big mainstream success, and you buy one of their albums, and their music is so radically different from everything else that you hear. I love that. I love when artists do things like that, and they were so huge, especially when they came out with this album. I think they originally came out in 2009, And this album was big all over pop radio, rock radio, all of it. There was even some rap elements on here, but it's not new metal or anything like that. This is they really pushed the envelope with this. It's 21 Pilots. This is the Blurry Face record. Every song on this is awesome, and they're all different. Every song is different from each other on this. We got Heavy Dirty Soul, Stressed Out, Ride, Fairly Local, Tear in My Heart, Lane Boy, The Judge, Doubt, Polarized, We Don't Believe What's on TV. Yeah, yes, you shouldn't. Message Man, Hometown, Not Today, and Goner. God, I haven't heard this in a while. I should really go play it because this is from 2015. I can remember when this was famous. The songs were all over the radio, but it's not like, it's not like a generic pop thing. It's rock, it's rap, it's pop, it's folk, it's all of this stuff. And they were just, this album blows my mind. Now, this is the only album of theirs I've really given a chance. I should give the newest one a chance and the one before this a chance too, but this album, I would actually say that this is a modern-day masterpiece. It's different, and it's very good. The songs are all well-written, everything's well done. And it's only two guys, so there's that too. We're going to go to a metal band that formed around 2004-ish in the States. And they're part of that sort of metalcore thing, but I think these guys really stand out, and they're a really good band. This is the two latest albums that came out in 2020. 2021 and 2020. Yeah. So we got Trivium. 2 records here. We got What the Dead Men Say. Excellent album. Catastrophist is an excellent tune. If you haven't heard it, go check them out. Really heavy band, and the singer is an amazing singer. He could do the growling vocals no problem and do the clean vocals just amazing. He's got an awesome voice, and he's a great guitar player too. The whole band is excellent. And their newest album, which is not so new at now 2 years old. Oh, isn't that crazy? Wow. In the Court of the Dragon. So I guess that means that we're in for a new Trivium album very soon. But yeah, this is a new band, sort of new band, and just great music, great Feast of Fire, great tune. Both albums are excellent. Trivium, go check them out. And look at the artwork on this. My gosh, some of the best artwork I've seen on an album cover in a long time. Great stuff. As was mentioned with Transatlantic, we've got the Flower Kings. This is their newest album. Now, I haven't listened to this whole thing yet, so yeah, I know, but the song Look at You Now is the last track on the album, and it's very, very prog, and it's very, this band has been around probably since the mid to late 90s, but they still put out music like boom, 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 and so I still got to give this one a shot. But great band, Flower Kings, and the album is called Look at You Now, but the title track is excellent, and I'm sure, because all their albums are actually excellent, this one will be too. This is brand new. This just came out about just earlier on this year. Great band, Flower Kings. We're gonna go more metallic, not Metallica, but metallic, rock, metallic. We got the new album from Ghost. Ghost have been around since 2007, and they've put out 5 albums, 6 if you include the new EP, I guess. And this is the new album, Impera. This is a very, very good album. And, one of the songs on this, Call Me Little Sunshine, was getting some pretty heavy radio play over here last year when this came out, 2022. This is an excellent album. I mean, Spillways, Call Me Little Sunshine, Hunter's Moon, Respite on the Spital Fields. I really liked this album. Kaiserion is an excellent album. If you haven't heard Ghost, go check them out. They've been around for about 15, 16 years, but they're still what I would consider a new band. And so, yeah, Ghost, love them. I've talked about this band before. I've even done a concert review video on them. It's Tesseract. They've been around since 2012 and maybe 2011, early 2010s anyway. War of Being. This album is so fucking incredible. This is absolutely one of the best albums of this decade, and we're only 3 years in, but I know that this is going to be one of the best albums that has come out of this decade. You watch. Tesseract, War of Being. Excellent. We're going to go to, yes, this is more of a pop album. It's very 80s inspired, but again, all the songs are different on it. They range from pop to rock to a ballad to a theatrical sort of like a concept thing. It's the Astoria album from Maranas Trench. I've been a fan of these guys since I was in grade 6. The singer, Josh Ramsey, is an excellent vocalist. This is a Canadian band. So maybe if you're in the States, maybe you haven't heard of them. But they have a lot of faces, and, they're very Queen influenced, you can tell, with the harmonies and the vocals, and just a really good band, and I definitely recommend checking this out. Astoria, Maranas Trench. Vancouver band. Oh, we got Ginger. A way to go from one opposite end to the other, right? So this band, I guess they've been around since the late 2000s, early 2010s, around there. And they're actually fronted by a woman named Tatiana. I cannot pronounce her last name. I'm sorry. But Ginger, and she is an excellent vocalist. She can do these beautiful, clean vocals and these really heavy, powerful, like really those types of vocals, but then these gorgeous, clean, beautiful things. And the band, it's borderline progressive metal. The way they play with the syncopated rhythms. If you like Tesseract, you'd probably like Ginger, and I think Ginger and all of these bands are excellent groups. Last but not least, we've talked about all the prog and all the metal and all the rock, all the stuff that I love that's been out and new, but I gotta tell you, this doesn't happen that often. There's a new pop star, a girl pop star on the scene, who I think is excellent. She's got great ballads, she's even got rock songs, she's got pop songs, but I feel this sense of honesty when I listen to her music. And even stuff that, even when it's sung from a girl's perspective, I can flip it around to come from my own perspective, and I listen to the lyrics and go, oh my gosh, I totally relate to this. I vibe with this. I feel this. I get it. And you know what? That's Olivia Rodrigo. This is her new album, Guts. Yeah. She's done her, she just did an album 2 years ago. She did Sour, and then she did this one. She's only 20 years old, but you know what? Her songs are excellent. I'd say that Vampire is probably going to be the best pop song on the charts of this decade. The song Vampire from this record, I think it's absolutely incredible. And, the songs like Lacey, Making the Bed, Logical, The Grudge, All American Bitch, these are all, when you listen to these songs, you get this sense of honesty. And for a lot of us, we can listen and go, oh God, I get that. I relate to that. I feel that. I understand where she's coming from, because, some of the songs some of the things that she's singing about in the songs, you go, fuck, I've done the same thing, And I will not hand in my rock and metal card for loving a pop star, because you know what? I love all sorts of music, and I don't feel bad about it. I really don't even have guilty pleasures. I dig some Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift, actually. I love Olivia Rodrigo. I like Britney Spears. Yeah, I like my 2000s pop too. But then I love my heavy metal. I love my death metal, my prog rock, my all this other stuff. But I think that these are all new albums by newer artists that are, worth your time. Hey, maybe you won't like everything I've shown you here, and that's fine. But at least be open to the open-mindedness aspect of it all. Anyway. Welcome to a trip into what Cody Brockway likes to listen to. I'm Cody Brockway. This is Brockway's Vinyl Bites. I'm the store owner of the record store Second Chance Records at 20 Argyle Street North, Caledonia, Ontario, Canada. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe, and don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and all that fun stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next video. Rock on!